All right, welcome everybody. Hope you can hear me. Let me get a little quick check here to make sure everything is going well. I'll just monitor with my cell phone here. Just connect it to Bluetooth with my headset, so that makes it a little easier. I think we're good. Yeah, all right. Problem I had was that all the settings out of Streamlabs OBS basically got deleted, so I had to redo every little thing. But we seem to have gotten it back, and we're doing well. We're going to continue on around the USA flights here. After that poker run the other day on Thursday, which I did win. However, I still feel like, I was honest with them. I had to take off from a taxiway on the last airport to get that last card to clinch the win. So I'm proud of myself, but yeah, I still feel a little weird about it. But we did. We were a winner on the poker run for the Virtual USA Flying Club with another member because we both had three of a kind. I had three jacks, and I believe the other person had three jacks as well. So, but like I said, we're back to our Around the USA flights that I planned way back in June. We are flying on VATSIM, and I just have to log. Actually, I think I am logged in. Yep, I got everything ready. So I'm hoping I got everything right because I don't want to be doing anything else here. Everything's planned. I got my watch ready to go. So let's get this thing going. Let's get the plane started. Let's go to the checklist. Seat track back lock. Let me just test all these moving things here. Make sure that we're good. Trim wheel should already be working. And it's not. But that's okay. Oh, wait, maybe? No. All right, let me reset the trim. Oh my god. Oh, it's not working. See, it's always something. So let me quickly restart spad.net. Sorry that that flashed there for a second, but it is a program that we have to use to get all my SciTech panels working and everything. So it's been pretty good. Just the trim wheel. It doesn't like the trim wheel unless you like kind of set it up first and do that stuff. So as soon as I get this trim wheel working, we'll be good to go. And it looks like it's working now. There we go. And you saw that on screen as well. All right. So seat track back lock, avionics off, autopilot off, throttle quarter of an inch. There we go. Mixture's full lean, brakes are set, master on, beacon on. Fuel pump should not be on, so we'll turn that off. And now we'll just turn it back on with the switch. And full mix. And again, that's bad.next. 2, 3, 4, 5. Full lean, pump off. All right, clear prop, max to start. And there we go. I'm also excited because I decided, after being invited and being honored to be invited, I am now an administrator as part of the Virtual USA Flying Club. We're trying to help out there and keep it going. So you will see a banner. Other way, that way. Ah, get my hand, yo. That way, and it'll occasionally flash the Virtual USA Flying Club uh, Discord. So feel free to join. We're 400 something strong, and we do like events and fly-ins on VATSIM. You do have to be a VATSIM member, but we definitely enjoy everyone that joins. And we're trying to get more participation in events. It's not that we're doing terrible. We had like 20 something last event, which was pretty good. But we want to break records here. We want to get to the 30s and the 40s if possible. So if you're interested in general aviation like I am, do it. And again, I'd be flying for real right now. In fact, I'd probably be arriving at Plymouth right now, but the winds weren't cooperating. They were up to 29 to 34 knot gust, so I decided to call it today, and therefore we'll just fly the simulator instead. All right, beacon on. Let's see, oil pressure is almost in the green. It's always like that. It doesn't matter what you do. You just have to increase the RPMs to get it up there. Lights as required, so we'll do landing taxi. Pretend the nav's ADS-B. Good there. Seatbelt harnesses, flaps are up. Test that switch, make sure it's working. It is. Oh, heat vent to frost. I don't even know how hot or cold it is, so we'll check that out later. It's probably a little colder. Avionics on, and we're gonna get the ATIS right now, which is on my flight log. So let's do that now. 122 point. No, not CTAF. 135.075. Here's our ATIS for Glendive, Montana.
Kilo Golf Delta Victor automated weather observation 2000 Zulu. Wind 181 at 24. Visibility 9er. Sky condition clear. Temperature 24C dew point. 1 tree, see altimeter 29er 59er.
2959. Now let's see. See, I'm using Rex Weather
Kilo
Force
Golf
again.
Delta Victor automated
See if
weather
it sets
observation
that automatically or not.
2000
Nope.
Wind 181 at 24.
Let's see what happens when I put 59er.
Niner. Sky condition clear. Temperature
Airport altitude
240
should
One
be
tree, see altimeter
2,400. So that's not going to work. So we'll just have to leave it here until
Kilo Golf Delta Victor automated
it's going
weather
off.
observation.
So we'll have to leave it there.
2000 Zulu.
So that's one of the things
181 at
with Weather
24.
Force that's not working, and I've left this on for quite a while.
Sky condition clear.
Is that it says
Temperature 240
altimeter's
dew point.
29er,
1 tree,
59er,
see altimeter
but you
29er,
put that in
59er.
and it's still wrong. So whatever. It's 82 degrees Fahrenheit, so I am going to pull out the cabin here, and we'll go back to VATSIM Unicom, only because there's no air traffic control here right now. And now it's doing that bug. Okay. Good. Ah. Oh my God. So yeah, there's a couple quirks.
Kilo Golf Delta Victor
Oh
automated
my
weather
God.
observation.
Stop it.
Kilo Golf
I can't tell if that's a simulator
Golf Delta Victor.
or if that's the SciTech panels. I have no clue.
Kilo Golf Delta Victor.
But it should, the top number is supposed to be the one that you're on.
Kilo Golf Delta Victor automated weather.
And the CTAF is 122.8 here.
Kilo
So
Golf Delta Victor.
maybe? I think so. Alright. But anyways, I just want to show you there's no controllers out here. And we're going to be going from Glendive to Minot. Minot, maybe? That's where we're flying today. It should take us about an hour and 21 minutes, as I've calculated. So it is a little bit of a longer flight, but not very long at all. And we'll continue with the checklist and get up there and do this thing. So, alright, flaps up, heat vent, defrost, avionics on, ATIS, altimeter, which we know is kind of weird. It's going to be set to clear sky still, because that is the elevation of the field, and that's what we need to set to in order to be accurate. Transponder, alt and squawk. Beautiful. And ADSB, we'll pretend it's on with the nav lights. Radio test, we'll see if anyone's out there. VATSIM Unicom, Cessna 9 Echo Foxtrot. Radio check, please. Well, it's transmitting when I push the button, so we'll just call that the radio test. Taxi light brakes, we'll test on the way out. And with the winds, we should be going. Ooh, let's see, 18 would be runway 20. It's the shorter runway, and I don't even think it has a taxiway. So you know what? I'm not going to do that one. Let's do 12. So I'm going to come out of here, take a left, and go all the way down. It's just one taxiway, Alpha. So I'm going to take a left onto Alpha, go all the way down. So, all right, look to the right, to the left. I'm going to turn off that marker thing. Don't need that. And it's on nav in case I want to use any VORs. Heading indicator there. All right, we'll have to do a ramp anyway. So here we go. Going out. Brakes are good. I'm just testing my rudders because they've been sticking lately, so I don't know what's going on with that, but we'll see. Going out to runway 12. Should be a little bit of a crosswind. Actually, it's one heck of a crosswind because it's 181 at 24 for winds. But you know what? It's a actually 14. I was 24 or 14. Weather Force is saying 14, but I thought I heard 24. So that's not that bad. We could do this. But yeah, like I said, real world. Out of Massachusetts, I was supposed to fly the 172M today. Really didn't know where I was going to go with that, and I was thinking maybe heading to Long Island the first time at Montauk. I'm trying to make cross-country flights, but it wasn't going to happen. Then I was thinking Portsmouth, New Hampshire, because then that'd be another cross-country flight where I haven't gone, and you know, didn't happen either because the winds. The wind's gusting up to 34 knots, so not going to fly in that. Hey, what's up? All right, just load in and we'll be fine. I have both VATSIM and Microsoft Flight Simulator weather up there. Glendive traffic says Echo Foxtrot crossing runway 220 at Alpha Glendive. And hey, did you notice the taxiway was correct this time? Maybe because there's only one taxiway though. So I don't know if Microsoft fixed it yet or not, but I believe they're still looking into that because I was looking at the patch updates and the timeline they have set. So yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my right rudder, but it's kind of funky. I'm gonna go with it, but It's weird. I think it might be time for some new rudder pedals. So maybe I should wait for the honeycomb ones because those look pretty sweet. Don't know if they're gonna be coming out with anything, but we shall see. See, the left one goes right away. If I hit right, I got right all the way down right now, and it's not moving. If I kick it, it does it. So I might open them up actually and try to clean them out or something. We'll see what happens. But let me do a run up. Come on, right rudder. I don't like how it's doing that though. But we'll work with it. Let's just get through this flight. Alright. Those wind socks are pretty heavy right now, so. Alright, let's go run up. Checklist. Brakes are set, fuel set to both. Trim set for takeoff. And flight controls. In, right, out, left, all the way in, and centered. Good. Annunciator lights, we'll test those. They look good. Instruments, turn coordinators in the middle, no flag. Heading coordination, heading should be about 85-ish or so. Yep. Vertical speed looks good. Altimeter looks, well, it was good when I looked at it before, so I'm going to call it good. It's probably that just up a little bit. Horizon looks good, and airspeed looks good, unless, let's see what it says now. No, now, I guess you have to move first, because now it's set to the right altitude. All right, cool. I don't know. So remember, in weather force, if you're using it, taxi out first, then set the altimeter, I guess. I don't know. Airspeed looks good. All right, mixture best power, going to 1800. Very good. Check the right magneto. Looks good. Back to both. Left. Back to both. Alright. Vacuum looks good. Amps are where they usually are, even though it's supposed to be like 0 or slightly charging. Oil pressure, oil temperatures in the green. Idling. Should be about 575 to 625. Then went way below that. But probably because we didn't lean out the mixture. So let's go back to 1800. And let's lean out the mixture so we get maximum RPMs. Here we go. Right about there. That's where we're going to put it. All right, now idle. And it should be 575 to 625. Leaned out pretty well. So yeah, that's it. And that's the reason why. So we didn't miss that this time. Again, that's because we are already at 2,400 something feet, so you have to lean out the mixture to get maximum power here. All right, back to 1,000 RPMs. Turn towards the runway. Come on now. There you go. But hopefully this right rudder situation works its way out, because it's been kind of a pain. And I'm using the SciTech Cessna rudder pedal, so I like them. And you can hear them moving. You could also see them deflecting the whole way, but for some reason it just gets stuck, for lack of a better term. All right, runway 12. I'm on the Eastern server, Marty. So, worst case scenario, I'll just add you as part of my group. So let me know. And Marty from Simulated Aviation is going to be flying with us today. So we are at Glendive, and we'll be taking off shortly. We'll see if he pops up. Other than that, winds are 18, 124. Let's check the winds one more time, because I'm kind of intrigued now.
Kilo Golf Delta Victor automated weather observation 2000 Zulu. Wind 181 at 24.
No, 181 at 24. See, you look at weather force, and it'll update you exactly what it is by the last VTAR. So it must triangulate with weather stations, but it's 190.14 here. And that was at 1956 Zulu, so what was that? That's 3:56 my time, so that's almost an hour ago. So it's comparable. Again, it triangulates with all that stuff. Hey, well, thank you very much. I'm trying. I still have I think it's 3 real-world flight videos to do. I just lined up the one of them, because I kind of do them in chronological order. But I lined up all like the audio and everything. I just got to get to editing it, which is going to take hours of my life. So I'm hoping to do that this weekend because I have Monday off, seeing that I'm a teacher. That's Columbus Day or Indigenous People Day, whatever you prefer. So, but all right, let's depart. Marty, I'll meet you out there, bud, and we'll go from there if that's okay. Because I didn't see you yet, but can add you in a group. Let me do that, and we'll see what happens. There you go. And you should pop up sometime, but we're gonna depart out of here, and then you can meet up with us. Our cruise altitude is 7,500 feet. You are? Okay, I just didn't see you. I see a truck. All right. Oh, there you are. I got you. You're right there. All right, cool. I want to take that runway if that's okay, because you loaded like right near the runway. I got you. You're right over there. All right. Glendive traffic, Cessna Atlantica Foxtrot, departing runway 12, departure to the northeast. Glendive. And hopefully my rudder will totally work, because I don't know what's up with it. But, you know, it's working now, so I don't know. If I kick it a couple times, that doesn't sound good. But it looks like I'm going to be going with a new set of rudder pedals pretty soon if I can't clean them up. There you go. See, kicking to the right. All right. And I know it's a little... See, that should really be kicking to the right more. So maybe I got to look at my assignment sensitivities later, but I'm not going to do that now. All right, with that, we're going to get our watch ready, stopwatch, and here we go. The rudder's working now, so I don't know. Strobe lights would have been nice, so I'll put those on. And we'll have the aileron correction to the right. See if the wind's coming from my right. Rotate at 55, climb at 74. And rotate. Well, that definitely had some wind to it. So watch out on that wind, Marty. That will definitely kick your butt a little bit on the way up. Remember to lean your mixture. You almost didn't do that again. You won't get maximum RPMs that way. There we go. Climb to 74. And we are looking right at Glendive, Montana out there in the distance. Trying to repaint this aircraft behind the scenes too. So I've been doing a lot of things. This week was relatively rough because if you don't know, but I am a professionally trained musician and music teacher by day, also a private pilot, and Eddie Van Halen was my god. So I kind of got a little bummed this week, as you could probably tell, because I didn't stream as much and really didn't work on much of anything other than just my real world teaching job. So it's been a tough week. But alright, we're going to check on our left. We are clear. We're about, yeah, we're good enough. We're going to take a standard 45 and we're going to go en route to a direct course. And get my flight log out here. Oop, that was a little rough there. Right about there. We should end up with a magnetic heading of 6-3. And the first checkpoint will be Blue Mountains, or the Blue Mountain. I have to check because I did these checkpoints a while ago. Blue Mountain, it'll be off to our right. So, but we're getting on course here. And Marty's right behind me, so good job. Nice job. Don't do what I did at the poker run and try to take off from a taxiway, though. There was no real redemption or quality flying in that Virtue USA flying poker run the other day. It was basically, oh crap, I gotta get Atlantic City because there was a time issue on that. And so I was at the last airport and I just got a jack to get 3 of a kind, and I was like, I'm never gonna make it back. I had to do it. I was like, either I get disqualified, or I try it and I let them know, and I was very honest with them. I let them know I did a Harrison Ford moment, and then, but they did reward me with a prize as well as another pilot that had 3 of a kind as well, 3 jacks. So that was my first poker run ever. So it was a good time on the Virtual USA Flying Club, which now I am an administrator of, and proud to be one. So our founder is a real world pilot as well. That's what he does for a job. So he recently went back to his job, which is great for him, but I guess that they wanted more people just to make sure that we're going to be good to go, because he's going to be on the road a lot more. So good times. Alrighty then. We're almost on course already, and we're crossing the Yellowstone River, which, if you remember, 1, the water mask is all messed up in this, but 2, that does go all the way down to Yellowstone National Park, just that it's very far away. So that must be why they call it the Yellowstone River. Just a thought. We're climbing at 80 knots again because we're getting enhanced cooling. We're dropping the nose a little bit, and also better visibility over the nose for short people like me. No cushion on this one. Alrighty then. So, yep. Blue Mountain. The checkpoints here are very few and far in between because, again, we're in the middle of Montana and there's a lot of open land here. So, Blue Mountain's 3,077 feet should be off to our right, way up ahead over here. So, we're climbing to 7,500 feet, just so we make sure that we're over some tall mountainous structures in the future of our flight. So, excuse me. It's been windy all day here, though. I think I made the right decision on not flying today for real, the 172M. So, when I called the flight school, I got the message, the answering machine over there, the voicemail, and I was surprised. I called them at 8:30. They usually open at 8, so they said they were not available to take my call. So they must have canceled a lot today, especially lessons. Because if you're dealing with gusts up to 34 knots, you're not going to fly in that. If you're with an instructor, even, I think that the rule over there is 29 knots is the instant grounding. So, and rightfully so. These planes don't take well to lots of wind, but it is what it is. Oh, hey, you know what? I forgot to put some tunes on. Let's put some tunes on. Yeah. Maybe a different song. Right, sounds good. Yeah, let's keep it climbing here. Probably lean out the mixture a little bit, get a little extra power. Alright, we're right on course, so we're going to turn about 6.3, I think I said. That's my calculated magnetic heading with the wind and the data that I downloaded. The wind's a lot forecast. Just getting the mixture right here. Right about there, the EGT looks right about where it should be. So I'll mark that as top of the peak there. Keep climbing. Alright, so here's where we are en route to our destination. Just took off. We're going to go all the way direct to Minot International Airport in North Dakota. And believe it or not, this is going to start looking a little greener according to the sectional. So if I go to Sky Vector, which is what I use for a quick sectional, not in real life. But let me change the destination stuff. If you look at this, looks like we're starting to get to a little bit less high elevation area, which is nice to see. You know, it's nice to go over mountains and stuff, but we're gonna go there and then we're gonna work our way back on the perimeter and go back to Plymouth, Massachusetts. So I'm hoping by November that we will mostly be done with these. But we're at 6,600 feet, climbing to 7,500. Now I'm gonna trim up so I don't have to keep pulling back up the roof. Outside air temperature of 26 degrees. Now I will close that vent, which is the cabin air vent here, because it'll probably be very cold right now. In fact, I might even put the cabin heat on. There you go. It's amazing how much colder it can get. I mean, Weather Force said that it's 82 degrees Fahrenheit on the ground there at Dawson where we took off, but now it's, according to the simulator, 25 degrees Fahrenheit. So, first checkpoint, just looking out for it, will be Blue Mountain on our right. Hopefully it'll stick out. I think that's why they pointed out in the section also. More of the same, flatland and Blue Mountain terrain. Got Marty, probably gonna do some formation flying, which he's famous for here. You have legs coming out? That's what I want to see. No, I guess not. Not today. Last time Marty was celebrating Halloween because his model matching had a pair of legs coming out of the plane. And I was like, oh my lord. So it's all good. Looks like, let's see if I got the heading indicator right. Yeah, I do. So I guess the winds have changed since I did it. I thought the winds were going to be good till 5, but well, we'll keep on track with the GPS either way. So. Very nice scenery. Oh, hey, stop doing that. Hat switch worked. Very nice scenery. Not bad. You got the Yellowstone River again. This would be usually all colored in, and they did something weird with the water masking there. So they should fix that eventually, hopefully. Off to our right. We'll get a little view outside when we see it. So got some techno going on. I left the group. Oh no! Is Marty still with us? Let's check. Oh, Marty's still with us. All right, good. That's what matters. I don't know why it said I left the group. But yeah, if you're watching and you'd like to chat, feel free to chat. If not, feel free just to sit back and watch. If you have any questions, let us know though. And while you're at it, if you're on Twitch and you like what you see, please push follow. Or if you're on YouTube, or you want to go to YouTube, check out Eric Flight there. I have some real world flying videos and stuff. Push like and subscribe on that, and I'd appreciate that very much. SimulatedAviation.com is another website. That's where I met Marty from. I got invited to be an affiliate. There's no monetary gain there, and I'm way above the altitude I should be at. So let's kick this down a little bit. So paying attention. Got so many things to do, and we're basically just trying to get the hobby more centralized in all different facets. Virtual airlines. Generally, you should fly like I do, so it's a great website and resource for us. But we do need to get down to 7,500, so trim start working. Alright, we'll get down to 7,500. We'll be fine. You see a mountain out there yet? It says it's Blue Mountain. Peak of 3,077 feet. I don't know, but I have it on the sectional GPS, so either way, we'll know when to take the time. Yeah, the Yellowstone River will be off to our left. Right here. That water mass makes it hard to find. So. That must be the Blue Mountain. That's the only thing I can see. That's a bit peeking out of the ground. So, yeah, we'll go with it. So, in parallel of that, we'll take a time check and see where we are with our times. So, hey Marty, what's up? I can actually see you this time. It's not a phantom in there flying the plane. So, nice job on the formation flying there. Right. That has to be the Blue Mountain. So it is able to be seen. Yeah, we're gonna try to level out at 7,500 when we get there, so. Off to our left, it's just more the same. You have Sydney, a small town up here as you follow the Yellowstone River up. But I don't think we're going to see it from here. Would be out there though, so. Okay, trim up. Keep it at 7,500. That's definitely Blue Mountain, so trim up. Come on now. I have about 16 minutes, and I said it would take us 20, but again, I estimate. So that's not unheard of because I estimate 1,000 feet per minute when I do the top of climb, so I just add that on there. Alright, with that then, we'll call it 17. And I'll just adjust my times accordingly. Uh, 18. Alright, so we're about 3 minutes ahead of what I scheduled there, but not a terrible thing at all. Ground speed, I never talked about ground speed. Ground speed is 150 knots, so we don't have it that bad today. I did calculate for 130, so the winds have definitely changed a little bit from that forecast that I got. Oh, excuse me. All right, Blue Mountain, 17 minutes. Next checkpoint would be Little Missouri River. It must be a little river. And I picked these checkpoints a while ago, but no, it's right there. It's gonna be the elbow of the river, the Little Missouri River, and that will be in approximately 12 minutes. So, okay, that's just to keep us on track and make sure we're getting there with the proper time and everything. So. Montana, so it's a lot of flat land and a lot of mountainous terrain. But the elevation is slowly going down as we get further away from the Rockies. Nice and clear day to be flying though, so the weather is definitely cooperating with us. Mari from Simualtor Aviation once again some practice information flying off of the wing. Not a bad thing at all. If you'd like to fly with us, by the way, definitely welcome you to do that. Do so. Next airport flight coming up on is Sierra 25. So if you'd like firing up Microsoft Flight Simulator, going to Sierra 25, go ahead. We'll be there probably about, say, a half an hour or so. Try and get this mixture just right. Okay, guess it's right about there. Increase the RPMs a little bit, keep this thing going. That would be real world weather right there. I mean real world traffic. Hello. November 143 Lima Whiskey. Let's see what that's all about. So I'll get my Flight Radar 24 app out here. Gotta load it up on my tablet. And we'll see what that is in the real world. Oh, there it is. And to find the app. That's kind of cool. I mean, they're gonna update that, I guess, with better data, but November 143 Lima Whiskey. That's what it was. Now it just kind of disappeared. So see, I don't get that, but that is currently, it's a Cessna 182. It's privately owned, and it's going from Sydney to Rapid City. Kilo Sierra Delta Yankee to Kilo. God, well, I can't think of my letters today. Kilo Romeo Alpha. God, just not coming to my head today. Papa, thank you. Oh my God. So interesting to see what's out there for real world. So okay, that small Missouri River checkpoint should be coming up ahead. You can see a river coming from the south, going to the north, then to the east. So it's a bunch of rivers out here, actually. There's probably some right down there. What we're looking for is going to have a little elbow. That's where we're going to get our time check from. Got I lost Marty there. We got him. On the sectional, they have an oil field off our right, so don't know if we can see that or anything. It's definitely not behind me. Probably be out here somewhere. Probably this red thing. No. Oh, cool. Oh. Locked in there, huh? Just direct right out there, so. This must be the oil field that they have in the center. Yeah, little visuals, like, you know, oil derricks or whatever, would be nice to see. So Microsoft can make that happen. It's not big on the list of things to do, but it'd be nice to see things like that. Here it says oil field on the sectional. It says tower, have a tower, you know? It's all good. It's all good. So, again, this landscape, you know, this has got to be, and I hate to say this, but this has to be one of my least favorite places to fly, because there's not much there for city and buildings, and it's kind of like the same type of landscape until you get through it, you know. And the flights are longer naturally because the airports are spaced out further away because you're in big open land territory. So I'm not saying it stinks to fly here. I'm just saying that it's not as visually appealing as other places. What's that thing? It doesn't say anything about that on the sectional. Is that part of the oil field? I think it's just houses, honestly. All right, we're keeping it to maneuvering speed here, and winds have been pretty good. We haven't really had any problems, so just takeoff. I kind of felt it at takeoff with the winds there. Got some houses down there. But this is Montana, and I will also let you know when we cross over to North Dakota. We are about to have a time zone change. We're about to go into Central Standard Time up ahead, so that will make things a little more interesting as we keep going here. But yeah, it is what it is, you know. There's gonna be some cool stuff coming up. This lake, if I can pronounce this right, Sakakawea. I got that. Lake Sakakawea coming up in our flight path and everything. And like I said, we're gonna start heading to places a little bit less elevated by the end of this flight. So our altitudes are gonna go a little lower than what we had on previous flights of like 11,500, 9,500. We won't be going that high unless we really needed to avoid some airspace or something. But it's all good. Marty from Simualtor Aviation's in front of us. He's on autopilot correct. We are starting to see slowly some more towns and roads. The Little Missouri River will be our next checkpoint, and that should be coming up. Might be this. That's what I'm thinking. It's gonna be right at the elbow of it. I think that's it. Said there's some ranches around too. Again, that's not really gonna be showing the website. Marty, how fast you going in that thing? What's it reading? What's your indicated speed? Drink some iced tea here. Excuse me while I get my big gallon jug of iced tea. 96. Because my indicator's like 102, but yet you're like kicking my butt on speed here. So. Got a ground speed of 113 knots, so we're about an hour out from Minot. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Is it Minot or Minot, North Dakota? So, yeah. So I don't know what's up with that, but enjoy the extra speed, I guess. I do too. Yeah. So I don't know. So, yeah, see, it's reading Sydney Richland Municipal right now. 170 at 22 knots. Clear. Peak winds. 180 at 26, and that was at, let's see, 2:40 my time, so that's almost 3 hours ago. But you can see I keep Plymouth here. That's my real home base in the world for flying. And then I have Boston and Providence, because I'm usually going somewhere around those places. But yeah, it is what it is, you know. You can't control it. I can't control it. So, interesting. All right, we are coming up though, on the Little Missouri River, and this is indeed it right here, I guess. So the elbow over here, that's what we're gonna get our next time check. I think they still have a little bit of work to do on this Rex weather force, by the way. I'm not saying it's terrible. In fact, I think it's better than the stock. But I think they have a little bit of work to do on just the way that it reports winds and the altimeter they're setting there. It should just, as soon as it loads it in there, you should be able to hit automatically do it, and it doesn't, because it seems like after you start taxiing, then it loads in the right altimeter setting. So, but hopefully it'll be like Microsoft Flight Simulator itself, where they just keep working on it, you know? And hopefully someday it will just be complete, where we don't have to worry. But they are having patch number 4 coming out. I can't remember what day. I think it's 15th or 16th. I think you might have that on the Simulated Aviation Discord. By the way, simulatedaviation.com. Check it out. It is a very cool place for everything virtual aviation-wise. Virtual airlines, fly-ins, events, community highlights, everything. So I think so too. Yeah, I mean, I hate to admit it, but I think we're going to be seeing updates for the next couple of years. But you know, if it leads up to like a product that we're all proud of, I guess that's the best we're going to aim for. I mean, you can't beat the VFR scenery on this. I do want seasons though. It's going to kind of suck when we get back to the New England area, and it'll be like summer scenery still. It'll be all green instead of like orange and brown of the leaves that change in the seasons. But you know, but yeah, definitely happier than prepared on this, even though it does crash very infrequently for me. Like on the poker run, it crashed right before the first airport where I was going to get a card, but they gave me a mulligan. So there was a lot of things on that event the other night where I was just like flustered. I was like, come on, you know, everything wasn't working for me. But I did end up winning, even though I had to take off the taxi. Little Missouri River, right here on our right. That is our second checkpoint. And I have a flight time of 31 minutes almost, so I said 29, so I slowed down a little bit. I'm going to call it 31, and we'll go from there. So not that it has to be totally accurate, but the winds are playing a little bit from what I calculate from the real world winds aloft data. But nothing we can't handle. It's just a couple minutes off. It's not like terrible. So that does happen in real life as well, because, you know, again, you can't just go by one number and say that's the way it is. But all right, next checkpoint is Cherry Creek. So let's see where that is, because I played this one out a while ago. Cherry Creek will be, it'll be a little creek riverbed right in front of us. Watford City, that airport I was telling people, if you want to go flying with us, get a Microsoft Flight Simulator Sierra 25. That's Watford City. That'll be off our left out there, kind of towards where Marty is, just further in the distance. And yeah, everything's going great. It's trimmed out great now. It's right around maneuvering speed. So no, I don't ever do .pln files anymore. I just use my tablet mostly, and then on the simulator, I just kind of say where I'm going. I tell where I'm parking, and then tell my destination. But everything else, I usually just use this Avera app like I use in the real world. So you're probably asking that because you're uploading them to the simulatedAviation.com website, right? Because I could probably make some eventually, but it'd be another step in the process. And I probably should have posted this to group flights, but it's cool. I did share my stream, so yeah, I'll start doing that too. So yeah, it can be hit or miss with those. I know when I was doing flight plans like that, they would work in prepared, but sometimes they would crash prepared. And I'm not saying yours will, just saying that was my experience with that. But there is a way of using SkyVector, making the plans and like translating that to a PLN. I think you can just save it, honestly. Well, that'd be a safe flight, but you export it out, and then actually that'd be the Garmin one. There was a way, though. Could have sworn there was a way to do it. But I use SkyVector for my planning, real world, and that. And then I usually use this instead of the plotter to save some time. But again, I have that big video on how to use a plotter and do everything manually, which is the way I learned. But now that I'm a private pilot, I do try to use faster means so I can save some time. So the electronic flight bag, obviously I didn't have that for training, but it does help. But it's almost been a year now. I'm 16 days away from having my private pilot license for a year. Yeah, it is. It's just a little bit more extra steps, so. But, yeah, and I try to use what I use in the real world as much as I can, because it just keeps me using it. Alright. So, that's the little Missouri River right here. Watford City. Be out there somewhere. Probably more than distance, so. Get close to there, but this is pretty scenic, the little Missouri River. And again, we'll have Lake Sakakawea coming out in front of us too, way in the distance. So that would be a major visual checkpoint as well. Can't miss that one. And I kind of remember flying to Minot last, I want to say fall. I think it was fall still. Might have been late summer when I did the Around the USA flight. So I flew to this place before, I believe, because there's not many airports to pick from. So, but it looks way better in Microsoft Flight Simulator than I ever did prepared, even with all the Orbex scenery. And Orbex, it looked good. It looked really good. It's just that obviously satellite image is going to rule any day over that. So, but ground speed slowed down slightly to 111. I calculated for 130. Maybe not. Yeah, I calculated for 130. So that's why our checkpoint times are going to be a little slower than what I calculated before. So. I know when I was doing virtual airlines way back in the early 2000s, I was trying to come up with like PLN files that you could just like put right in there and stuff. But it got very tedious. And then honestly, like when September 11th happened in 2001, see that's how old I am. That kind of just blew the whole virtual aviation thing out for a while. So I mean, I even put the virtual airline I was doing on hold and just said you could keep flying and I'll put hours in, but we're not gonna get new pilots and stuff. It just kind of stalled at that point, and then, to be honest with you, in my opinion, it never fully recovered. I mean, it was pretty slamming, like I told you when I first talked with you on our meeting in the late 90s, early 2000s. Maybe it's because I'm an old fogey now. I don't know, but it was really intense with the virtual airline and stuff. I flew for Gateway Airlines, and then I ended up starting my own airline, Universal Airlines, which someone else used Universal Airlines, so you won't see it there anymore. Someone else started another airline with the same name later on, which I don't care, because, you know, it's just a hobby. And I wasn't running it, obviously. I think I stopped the airline in 2002, because I was focusing on my budding music career. So I had to give my all to that. So. But alright, Cherry Creek is coming up. Again, we'll have Wofford on the left and Cherry Creek in front of us. That's our next checkpoint. Oh, I don't think I'm going to do any formation flying right now. I think I'm good. It's not my cup of tea, I don't think. Too much focus on that while I'm trying to focus on where I'm going and stuff. Maybe someday we'll take the Texan up together, and then we can try formation flying. You can show me some tips. So, but we'll see. I want to fly the Cirrus more because that was fun the other night. It was fun to go that fast. So, even if the intent sucks in the model or Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I want to do some more flights with the Cirrus. Creek up ahead at all. No, so I'm at Watford. be a huge lake out here. So maybe if we look a little closer, see Watford. Should be out there. Is that it? I don't know. Interesting. There's some nice mountains over here. Again, that little Missouri River. Off to our right. And that creek should be coming off. Is this it right here? That might be it. You can barely see it. Geez, that Watford would be right there, I guess. I guess that's it right there. Not the easiest thing to see. But I do like looking at the scenery. That's part of the reason why I do it around the USA flights. This is the second year I've done a flight like this. So this year we just aimed for going around the perimeter of the United States. So it's going to take a little longer than last year, but it's definitely worth it, especially now that we have the satellite imagery to see the country while we're flying. So we're making it back east. We're heading back east, and we'll start seeing the elevation go lower as we go there, as well as maybe seeing a lot more cities closer together. So but I do like flying in the northwest. I'll tell you, from the experience I've had, I love flying down the East Coast. Texas is pretty cool. Mississippi, the Bible Belt there, I'm okay with that. That's just okay for me. It's no representation of the people that live there, by the way. I'm just saying the scenery. And then the Southwest is pretty cool for a little bit until you keep flying over desert after desert. When you hit the West Coast, I love flying up the West Coast and the Pacific Northwest. And then this is kind of my other, like, just lull area for seeing. Like, it's nice. And then as we get more towards the east, it gets a little more exciting because you get to see the cities and stuff. So that's my opinion. That's my feelings. If you think differently, let us know in the chat. Just chat it out. But where I'm from in New England, we have, we're very dense here in areas of living. So you basically fly and see houses everywhere. The closest place, again, that we have to remoteness is probably New Hampshire and Vermont. And again, it's probably more dense than this. It's definitely more dense than this, but you have big areas of mountains and stuff. So we might do that flight in the future because I want to practice it anyways, to fly to the White Mountains someday. Probably not, probably spring, I'm thinking, in real life. I'll fly the White Mountains and do that. But there's also Alton Bay in New Hampshire for real world flying. And what Alton Bay is, it's a sea base. But in the winter, if the ice gets thick enough, the U.S. is only basically recognized ice runway. You land right on the lake with the regular airplane. And I took the FAA training on that last year, but the ice never became thick enough. And I wasn't going to go by myself anyways. I was probably going to take my flight instructor or somebody, like a flight instructor, to go with me to do that. Because I think that'd be cool, just to do it and say, hey, I did it. But that would be quite the adventure for real world flying. You basically have to treat it like a short field runway and like no braking. So you have to get down there and get that speed down and then just glide on in and use very light rudder control to move around when you land on the lake. But it can be done when they allow it. You have to keep looking for reports and stuff. But even they recommended taking someone experienced with you if it's your first time. So, and other than that, I will, I think for next summer, if everything works out with COVID, that's the problem right now. I think I'm going to either try the Woodstock Festival site in 1969, heading out there and doing like a whole vlog, if you will, or I'm going to do Fort Ticonderoga, because that's what I was going to do this summer, pre-COVID. But when COVID happened, that wasn't going to happen. So, give you an update on Simualtor. We are about almost halfway there. Here's that lake, what is it called, Sakakawea. So, and then the creek should be coming right in front of us, so we'll take a look at that. But here is Minot International, and there's the Canadian border. border. So like I said, we tried to stick close to the perimeter of the continental United States on these flights to really get a good look at the country. So, if I do this again next summer, which I probably will, I might just do a coast-to-coast flight, honestly, because it'd be a little quicker, but it's not because of that. It's because you just go straight across. The challenge that you're going to have is the Rocky Mountains, the high altitude, so that's going to be the big thing. But once these flights are pretty much done, and even in between them, I'm going to fly more flights for like the Cirrus, and I think I'm going to try flying another aircraft that I don't fly in the real world, just to get more used to it. So, I was asked the other day at the airport, when am I going to fly the Pipers, and I'm not going to do that until after the instrument reading. I'm going to do it. So, they have Piper Archer, Piper Warrior, flight school, and I would like to get acquainted with those. So, Creek should be, our visual checkpoint should be down here in front of us. So let's see if we can see it right here. Oh, there it is, right there. So that little creek is our checkpoint, believe it or not. So once we cross that, we'll get a time, see how far along we are on the flight time here. But I got 45 minutes almost flight time. And I said we'd be there in 43. So yeah, the lower ground speed is definitely making those times a little late, but it's to be understood. You kind of think about this as you're flying. Oh yeah, it's less of a ground speed, so that makes sense. So, all right, we'll call that at around 46 minutes. We'll also trim down because it seems to be flying slightly. All right, so 54. Now 4. What I'm doing is I'm just adjusting my checkpoint times according to what we get for winds here. So, but it does a pretty good job on the Rex weather force. It's not terrible. Again, I had the winds aloft forecast that was good till 5 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time for me. So the winds would definitely change according to the next forecast. Maybe not much, maybe not at all. But if you ever wonder where you go for this stuff, just go to Google. I'll actually show you this. You just search for winds aloft forecast, and then it has aviationweather.gov, and I have now Cortana contacted me. And then you just choose the area around where you are, taking note of the airport names here, and then you try to, like today I think I picked the MLS winds and the MOT winds, and then I just basically averaged those together to get out here, because that's about where we were. So, but you click on the region, and it'll take you there. And then you have to know how to read this. So, I don't know if I did a video on how to read winds aloft or not, but like this would be light and variable winds, and this is the temperature. So, seeing that word 7,500, we need average 6,000 to 9,000. We average that out to get a wind reading. So there's a little work that goes into it. But that's something that we do in the real world to stay on top of things. So, all right, our next checkpoint I think is Lake. Yep, Lake Sakakawea, and that should be in about 8 minutes, according to what I calculated. But again, now it'll probably be more like 10, because my ground speed was calculated to be 130, and we're at 115 right now. So I see that all on my GPS. It calculates the ground speed as we go. It seems like we're getting closer to civilization. It's nice to see the lakes a lot more and stuff. And I think Sakakawea should be coming up in front of us. Again, it's right out there, actually. So once we hit the coast there, we're going to get a little checkpoint time. Again, we do this in the real world to make sure that we're on course and making the time that we should be. Because if you don't see it and you hit that time, you know that you're probably lost, and then you'll get from VORs and stuff. Or if you have a GPS, you're basically saying, okay, where am I GPS? So, but our airport for today, Minot, or Minot, I don't know how you pronounce that, is it has a VOR on the field. So I'm actually going to set this up here. Okay, our nav radio is here. Alright, so I'm going to use my SciTech radio panel. Frequency for the VOR is 117.1. So if you see I'm turning that on my SciTech radio panel, you can see that's doing its thing there as well. Right there, that's my nav. I'm going to dial that in as active. And then, if you want to find out where to go for the airport, you just turn your VOR here, VOR1, until it says 2, and the needle is centered, and it'll give you a heading for where the airport is, like right about there. So if I want to go direct, I should be, oh, that's actually from, so you have to make sure it says 2. See, I was made a mistake. It should be about 180 degrees around. Yeah. Should be about 50 something or another if we want to go direct. So now we can use that. The GPS were to fail, but the nav still works. You can go that route. So, and again, in the real world, when I used the 530 the other week, when you put the direct in, it'll actually tell you to dial in the setting, and it'll say GPS. So, but I'm going to use nav because I did the VOR frequency for Minot, and we just keep that needle centered and it'll take us right to the airport. So, which is perfect. So redundancy is key. If you're flying in real life and you have a VOR to use, why not use it? It's just another thing to help you out, keep you on track. So those are the things I like to practice on the sim. So now I don't even have to look at this tablet if I didn't want to. I can just follow that VOR arrow on the OBS there, the radio. So that's what would happen. If I got lost, I would dial into that and say, okay, where am I? And then see where the needle pops up. Go, okay, I'm going that direction. Now, those are things that they test you on the check ride. They'll just say, all right, where are we on the sectional? And you might have to dial into 2 of them to see where they coincide on the sectional, and that's where you are. 2 VORs, but things you have to know. Good things to know, though. I think I had to dial into the Providence VOR in my check ride. Because he's like, all right, you have a problem, where are you going to go? I was like, I'm probably going to go to Providence because that's the VOR. And I dialed it in and sent to the needle and said, that's our direction. So he knew I could find my way. Just a little tip for those people who are not private pilots. You know, work on this stuff. It's going to help you. And then if you ever do want to get private pilot, you'll know part of the game already, which helped me on the ground school stuff. I didn't do as much ground school as other pilots. Like I went through the standard ground school, but when it was like teacher-student ground school, we didn't have to go over as much because I mean, he still went over it, but I answered it fast because I had some experience in the simulator. So, and the instrument too. The instruments, I knew how to read those. That wasn't a problem. It was just getting used to read them and not trusting your instincts. But we're also gonna need to get some type of altimeter setting here. So let me see if I get the Washington City weather 118.125. Let's see if we can get an altimeter setting here. Just what we do in the real world if we don't have any type of thing going on. We'll see if the simulator has it in there. Which I don't think it does, because you'd probably be hearing some weather right now. Alright, anyways. Lake Sakakawea is right here. This is the main lake right there, but as soon as we hit this coast there, that's our checkpoint. Things are getting a little less mountainous as we go along here. You can definitely tell we're heading east. The scenery is really good. The visibility looks like it cut down just a hair. So, no updated altimeter setting as of now, but that's okay. Maybe I can get Minos already. 118.725. We'll see if we can get the weather there already. We're kind of far out still, but we'll see. Who knows?
Kilo Mike Oscar
Hey,
Tango automated
cool.
weather observation 2100 Zulu. Wind 326 at 29er. Visibility 9er. Sky condition clear. Temperature 7C 2.13C altimeter 29er 59er.
Oh, good. All right, so it's staying the same. All right.
Kilo Mike Oscar Tango automated.
Now it's doing that bug there where it doesn't.
Kilo Mike Oscar Tango.
Stop it.
Kilo Mike Oscar Tango.
I don't know why it does that, but that is a bug in the simulator too. You'll switch between radio frequencies and it'll stay on the weather one. So I don't know. But my V-Pilot is showing 122.8, so I know I'm dialed in, right? Again, that was VAT-7. That's online air traffic control. There's no air traffic control online right now at this time, so that's why we're not using it. But here we are right here. We're on our way to Minot, or Minot, whatever way it's pronounced. So if someone wants to correct me on that, please let me know the correct pronunciation, because I feel like I'm just messing that up royally. I'm just not from North Dakota, but we are... We already in North Dakota or not? I don't know. I look at the border on the sectional. I don't really see it. Maybe the lake is the border. Interesting. Oh, definitely another time zone. That was when we crossed the Cherry Creek there. Right around. Or maybe not. I'll give you a second. Yeah, I think we did check. See, 937. 537. This thing's actually lagging behind by 3 minutes, but that's cool. I don't know if we can cross the time there. Let's see what the local time is. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Select local time, 4:38. So yeah, we must have crossed the time zone, because that's an hour behind my actual time here on the East Coast of 5:38ish, or 5:41 really, but simulator sometimes delays that. There is a program that I could use to fix that and have it update every like 10 minutes, but it used to crash prepared, so I don't trust it. On this at least. It was working, but I'm not going to do that now, we're already flying, so. But alright. Here we go. Okay, we're over the lake, so do a time check here. I got about 55.5 minutes. Look at that though, huh? I think you got some boats down there too. No, that's just waves. I'm sorry. That was just waves. That is cool. Thanks. The main part of the lake's over there, so yeah. This is nice scenery. So this is what I want to see. This is what I miss. You can see the sun coming off of it. I wish there were some boats. Anyways, I gotta get a time check here. 56 minutes or so. Gotta trim down a little bit. And I said it would take 54. So yeah, our checkpoint times are about 2 minutes late, which is the average here, because the winds are a little slower than what I calculated. Again, just something that you would understand as a pilot. Just say, okay, they're about 2 minutes late, so I'll be there in about 2 minutes later than when I actually report. So it says hour 6, sorry, to Yankee 74, which is an airfield up ahead, I believe. Yep, it's Partial Hankins Airport. It'll be on our right. But even though I said an hour 6 total flight time, will probably be more like an hour 8, because of the winds being ground speed of 111 instead of 130. So. Which makes sense, so this is really nice scenery. It's like we hit the lake and all of a sudden we start seeing, you know, it's more farm still, but a little bit more civilization. Newtown, North Dakota, I believe, is up here. There would be a bridge out there, which they don't have. I think that's what's showing them the sectional. So, a couple more things missing, but nothing terrible. It's not taking away from the whole thing. Again, Lake Sacagawea. I got that down now. See that? Beautiful lake. So much so that I'm going a little off course. Not anything I can't handle, but see that needle? See how it went to the... I have to go to the left a little bit to get more on course. So that's why, if you have a chance, you dial into that VOR. It keeps you on track. You You know, you get a little off, you get a little lost. I definitely know if that's going to Minot, no matter what. 2 and the heading. But let's say I wanted a direct heading. How do I get direct? I center that needle. So it should be around 50 now. That's why I'm veering to the right too much. And that's a general way of using VORs to find out if you're lost where you're going. We'll be flying over the other part of Lake Sacagawea. Got some houses down there. It's really beautiful. You know, I might say this kind of redundant with all like the far stuff, but you got a problem flying out here. You have plenty of places to land compared to other places. That's the good news. It's probably not very populated, so you got these long roads. You just gotta watch out for like electric lines and stuff like that. But there are definitely options here compared to other places. So. Up here in the Northeast for real, when they made me practice for emergency procedures, like your engine goes out and you have to land somewhere, we had to find like strips in between the cranberry bogs up here in Plymouth. And I know where a couple are because he trained me that way. He's like, you know, in case you ever get in trouble, there's one here, there's one there, and you get familiar with it. Because that way, when your designated flight examiner actually does the check ride with you, you kind of already know some places to go. But mine was right over Plymouth Harbor. That's where he did, oh, you got an engine fire. What are you going to do? And I actually had to pick the beach as the best place to land. So, first I was like, oh, we could make Plymouth. We'll turn around. Because the harbor's like right off the coast from the airport. He's like, oh, I don't think that's going to happen. And he did that, so I'd have to make a decision around there. But the beach was a good, viable area. So, whoops, sorry. Again, we're crossing Lake Sacagawea, and we're on our way to, I think it's Minot International Airport in Minot, North Dakota. We are about 28 minutes out, so we are getting towards there. If you see the gold bar at the top, we're about 66% done with this flight. When that gold bar vanishes, it usually means we're at our destination, so. Yeah, it suddenly got more beautiful here, so very nice to see. The effects on the water are fantastic. These little waves, look. Those look really good, and they're supposed to be affected by the winds that are actually in the simulator, so, which is very lifelike because one way of telling where the winds are coming from is to look at the crests and see how they're going. So. And I'm trying to use it now, but I think I'm too far up to really see them well enough. So. But this little city right here should be, I don't know what that is actually. I don't know over here. It's not Newtown. I guess it's just a little city there. It doesn't really have a name on the sectional. And getting out here, the next town we'll see is Partial. I think it's North Dakota, and that airport will be our next checkpoint, which means to the south of that. So, definitely on our way. Really beautiful scenery. And that lake is long. It has like a river, it goes around right into the lake, and then it goes to the south as well. So, big, big lake. Excuse me. That calls for more iced tea. Don't make fun of me. I'm just drinking out of the yellow jug. All right, my VOR here is telling me to go more to the right to be on a direct path. So it's getting a little more sensitive too because we're getting closer. And you'll see that it actually does that. in real life too. It gets very sensitive. In real life, it's not as strict as it is in the simulator too. Like it bounces around a little bit more, but we're not far off from that VOR setting. So we're gonna go a little bit more than 50, and then eventually it'll land. It'll line up, and we'll turn to 50. But right now I'm at a heading of like 7.5 to intersect that VOR. See, but now it's gonna start going to the left, so I'm gonna start going to 50. Because you don't want to wait till it's centered and then turn it, because then you're gonna be too late. So something you practice with. So I'm also going to trim up to get the extra 100 feet. But we are now leaving the Lake Sakakawea area, and we're going to Partial, North Dakota. And that airport should be viewable off my right here. Let's see if we can find it. That must be Partial. It's supposed to be right to the south of that. It's the airport. So maybe maybe that's the load still. That is our checkpoint. It's actually right there. Is that the runway? I think that's the runway right there. So when we're parallel to that, that would be our checkpoint. That wasn't very easy to spot. Now it is. So again, Partial, North Dakota, I believe. Let me make sure of that. Yep. Partial, North Dakota. It's a city of approximately 903 people, so definitely a smaller city. And I'm looking at Wikipedia right now for all this information. Take a look at it as we pass by. That's the airport right there. Actually, I just gotta check my altitude. Gotta trim up still. That must be the high school that I'm seeing on the Wikipedia website. It's still loading if you notice. It's not totally clear, but clear enough to see what it is. Some other buildings out here. So yeah, it's getting a little more diverse on the scenery, if you ask me. I don't know if that'd be on during the day. Usually it's only on during IFR conditions, but it seems like the beacons are on night or day in the simulator. So it'd be nice if the simulator loaded the airports a little bit more in advance, and hopefully my I thought it was gonna be crashing there. It also stutters like that when it's loading scenery. And I have a pretty fast internet connection, so I don't know what's going on with that, but it'd be nice if they loaded the airports with a little more frequency and urgency compared to the other scenery, so you can actually see it from a distance in real life. So it's not like a terrible thing. So small city of 900 down there. Okay, I have an hour and 7, probably be like an hour 8. So again, that kind of lines up with what we're doing here, because I said an hour 6, but again I said it'd probably take us 2 extra minutes because of the winds. So now we have a good grasp on our times here. Alright, so I'm going to change those times. I'm going to call them 2 minutes later than what they really are. Next one is Yankee Niner Niner, which is another airport. We should get there in an hour and 15 minutes total. It's probably about 8 minutes, 7 minutes or so. And that should be coming up ahead. It is a field airport, which is going to make it harder to spot. And it'll be off our right. So I'm also going to get more on course here. You see that VOR needle. went to the left, so it's now saying to go to the... Yeah, my left is this way, so just like, and I'm following what's in my background there, so... Getting confused on the hand things, I'm like, that way, no, this way. When I'm trying to post, like, see that? I have to get used to that being the rotating banner when I'm trying to point out something, so... But it's all good. Gotta remember the video is mirrored on this, so... Alright, we are, 21 minutes out or so, 36.8 nautical miles away from Minot. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm going to go with it. That's how I'm going to pronounce it for the rest of the stream. And that will conclude the flight for today. I don't know if I'm going to get on later. I might not. It always depends on what my kids are up to. I usually do it after bedtime. And not sure. But tomorrow, I have a feeling it's going to be a flying day because I have Monday off thanks to Columbus Day or Indigenous People Day, whatever your preference. So... So Monday, I don't know. I might actually try to sub in my real world flight that I wasn't able to take today because of winds for Monday, but I have to take a look at the weather on that day too and see about aircraft availability. So let's see what's going on Monday. And I also get permission from my wife to make sure that I'm good. So Monday's supposed to be rainy. Okay. Well, that's not the problem, but usually with rain there comes clouds. So. Showers. It was occasional rain, so probably not going to do it. I'll probably just wait till next Saturday. I think I'm flying the 152 next Saturday in real life, which should be good. Very comfortable with that. That's the aircraft I trained in, and I don't really take any passengers. But let's double check that. I'll check my schedule here while we're flying, and I'll still keep my eye out for Yankee 99er. This is our next checkpoint, but. Yeah, I'm flying actually in the plane I did my check ride in, 152 November 489990. Now be on Saturday, next Saturday, 8 a.m. early, but I'm used to that for my work. So I haven't decided what I'm gonna do there, but maybe I'm gonna do Portsmouth, New Hampshire with that one. I'm gonna be honest with you. We'll think about it. So, like the problem is I don't think I'd write up all Eastern Connecticut airports to go to for cross country, but I did most of the ones I was looking at. So now I'm thinking Montauk on Long Island, which case I'm going to wear the flotation safety devices while I fly, because I will not be risking anything there. That's after the Block Island incident. If you haven't seen that video, that's on my Eric Flight YouTube channel. But took a flight to Block Island and had some carb icing, and I almost pooped my pants. I did fix it, obviously, but I did not have any flotation devices on board. So for now on, whenever I fly over water like that long, I actually have my own life vest. So, all right, let's go to this airport. Oh, there it is, right there, Yankee 99er. I think that's it. Maybe not. But I don't see anything else around, so that has to be it. Like an airfield to you? No, that looks like a road to me because there's a car on it. Alright. Well, I'm not really seeing the airport. It's here. It's supposed to be right underneath me. Oh, there it is. Nope. Interesting. Well, it's supposed to be here. Maybe it's this field or something. The field airports are very hard to see from altitude above, so. We're definitely going to call it now, though. So an hour 12. An hour 13, hour 12. I said an hour 15. So now we're back to our regular times here. So let me erase this stuff here. And I'll adjust the times as needed. Okay. So we'll go back to our original times. Oops. Alright, next checkpoint is the end of 4 small lakes. This was really hard for a checkpoint, you could obviously tell. So, Because I said the end of 4 small lakes. Now I have to figure out what the hell I meant. Oh, there it is. There's a bunch of lakes up ahead. We'll see if they're in the simulator and easy to see. And that will be our second to last checkpoint before Minot International Airport. So, we are 15 minutes out, 28.3 nautical miles. And once I get over those 4 lakes, I'm going to get a weather reading from Minot and then go from there. So, but it's all good. That satellite imagery, they have some clouds there from the picture, so it happens. You know, to be fair to them, I haven't seen that a lot, so they did a pretty nice job. There's some lakes there, but there's supposed to be like some lakes up ahead here. Yeah, does it? Why not? Why not? Why not? So, hey, I'm trying. You know, I'm from New England. We pronounce things weird here. Like, Worcester is Worcester to us. You know, stuff like that. Why not? Why not? All right, I'm gonna go with why not then. Sam, I'm gonna go with what you said. Why not? International. I was thinking Minot. I was thinking Minot. But I'll go with why not. Have you ever flown anywhere around North Dakota or anything like that, Sam? Oh, cool. All right. Well, thank you for your service, sir. You can tell why, because this is probably a really good training ground, seeing that there's not as much population density around here. But it's really nice. When we hit that lake there, it was really nice scenery after a while. So, like, this is a little more entertaining. Oh, cool. A little more entertaining here than it was earlier in the flight, just in my opinion, so. Oh yeah, so you were around this area. You were south of here, but definitely around the area. Getting lined up with this VOR, I could say north of the flight path here, but not that far. So let's hope this right rudder holds out, because I've been having some problems with it. And that's why, I don't know if you saw a couple streams ago, but I was having problems with the aircraft not staying on the middle of the runway, even though I had my right rudder like all the way, and it was still veering to the left. So I gotta figure something out. And I really like these pedals, but I think it might be time to buy some new ones when the honeycomb ones come out, which I don't even know when they're coming out. So see if we get an update on that. Yeah. So with me, I'm slowly. I mean, what I really wanted to do is I wanted to put an old sectional in my office here and have that on the wall to track my progress of places I've gone. But what I've been doing now is I've been taking the downloadable version of Google Earth and marking off the airports as I fly to them, whether in training or real life. I mean, or private pilot. Real life, yeah, that was good. But so far, I don't know if I can show you this, but I'm going to try. Get rid of all these other things too. These are all the airports I've flown to in real life so far. You got Worcester, Southbridge, Taunton, Taunton, sorry, is over here. Danielson I just did, Windham, or Wyndham, as we probably call it in New England. Chester is probably the farthest west I've been. And again, everything comes out of Plymouth, which is right here. Mansfield, Provincetown's over here. I got one more airport on the Cape to do, to say I've been to all the airports on the Cape, because the other one's an Air National Guard base, and you're not really allowed to go there. So, and actually there's also Falmouth, which, Marty, I don't know if it's you or Tim. I think it's Tim that lives in Falmouth. So that one's kind of hard because that airport is located like right below the Class Delta for the Air National Guard base there, which has restricted airspace to the north of it as well. So, but I don't know. I gotta make my way more to New Hampshire, I think, next. So that would be, I'm thinking Portsmouth next. We went to Nashua there. Then eventually I want to go to the White Mountains here with Mount Washington. That's the tallest point in New England. But just to get some mountain flying. I'm thinking about maybe trying that in spring. It all depends on COVID, because I want to go there and do something. I don't want to just go there and, like, you know, say, okay, cool, at the airport. I just flew for like an hour and a half. Cool, I'm here. And then all of a sudden it's like, whatever. But I just missed my check. This river is right here. These lakes right here. So I'm going to go with that. You know, estimated. Either way, we're on our way. I said it'd be an hour 17. Yeah, so it's about an hour 17. Alright, 10 minutes or 8 minutes away from Minot. We gotta get our weather.
Kilo Mike Oscar Tango, automated weather observation to 200 Zulu.
Probably started to descend.
Wind 312 at 41. Visibility 9er. Sky condition clear. Temperature 5 C dew point. 13 C altimeter 2962. Kilo Mike Oscar Tango, automated weather observation to 200 Zulu. Wind 312 at 41. Visibility 9er.
Wow.
Sky condition clear. Temperature 5 C dew point. 13 C altimeter 2962.
Alright.
Kilo Mike Oscar Tango, automated weather observation to 200 Zulu. Wind 312 at 41.
That 41's a little worrying. That's why I didn't fly today in real world in the 172M, but Mount Katahdin? Oh god. Where's that? That's what I want to know. Let me check that out. Is that marked clearly on the sectional? Alright. God, where's that mountain? Mount Katahdin. That would be highest mountain in the US state of Maine. Oh. Yeah, I wasn't allowed in Maine for the longest time because they weren't allowing Massachusetts residents into Maine without like a COVID check. So, yeah. I was supposed to fly up to Maine to visit one of my old coworkers. She lives up there. And I was going to do that this summer too. To at least get some breakfast at the airport. No, you got it. It's up there in Maine. It says it's 10,000. Oh, from 10,000 feet. So the peak though is 5,269. Where I think Mount Washington is just a little higher than that at like 6,600. So Mount Washington elevation 6,288 feet. So alright, pattern altitude is about 2,700 here. We're gonna also enrich the mixture just slightly on our descent down. And this would be class D in the real world, but seeing that I'm doing VAT sim and there's no air traffic control, we'll take it like it's a non-towered airport, because there's not even center or anything. So, but gotta keep descending here. We're at 6,500. Yeah, I wanted to drive up Mount Washington the last time we went there. I think that was summer 2018, but we had the kids. We went up to Santa's Village and stuff like that. And it's really nice to drive up there and stuff. We stayed overnight near Santa's Village and near, what was the other place? Storyland for the kids. So, but it was nice. Again, pre-COVID, things were good. You could go places and do things. So, they say that you need all-wheel drive. I have a Honda CR-V with all-wheel drive, so I thought it was going to be okay, but we never got the time to go up it, so. And then, again, if I was single, I might want to hike the Appalachian Trail someday, you know, that little, just in sections. I wouldn't do it like full out through for months. But I don't see myself doing that anytime soon because my kids are still 7 and 2. But I told my my older boy, I was like, you know, when we get a little older, we'll go backpacking and stuff. So we'll see if we can do like little portions of it or something. But we're still at yard camping here, and we went camping at the one of the Massachusetts beaches down here. So that was fun too. But we didn't do much this past summer. We just camped out in the yard a lot. So luckily I have a nice yard with like a fire, like a built up a stone pit and stuff so we can have some fun with it. I have a big movie projector screen, projectors, thanks to the Eric DIY channel. I get people that send me stuff to review, but it's quality stuff. I have like a 6-foot screen, so we set that up on the yard, have a movie night, and then we go camp, so it's a good time. But yeah, Mount Washington, that area, I've always wanted to fly there, and I've done it in the simulator, obviously, even before I had my private, certificate, and it was cool because it's different. You got the mountains you got to worry about. The winds will hopefully be more realistic in this simulator once they, fix everything. But I haven't really tried it since they did the 3rd patch. Now they're coming out with that 4th patch, so I figure in about 2 years they'll have it pretty good if they just keep listening to people and fixing things. So we'll see. Alright, we're about 8 miles out. I would call in the tower by now and already say where I'm at. I do that about 10 miles out on Class D. They'll probably have already given me directions. Now, seeing that the winds are 312 and it's 41, I'm going to go for runway 31. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to serve as the role of air traffic controller. And I'm going to say, November 9 Echo Foxtrot, enter left downwind for runway 31. And that way we'll set up a 45 for runway 31. Again, we're going to keep the setting down to 2,700, which is pattern altitude here. We should be seeing the airport pretty soon. See, there's a little bit more civilization as we head out east there. This is the big city of Minot, as corrected by Sam, so thank you for that pronunciation correction. I was looking for that. Felt really bad pronouncing it 3 different ways. Do have to get down in altitude, so we'll see what we can do. Trim it down to 500 feet per minute. That should take us down maybe 700. Down a little quicker. But it's gonna be a little sketchy on this landing here because it is 41 knots according to that. If I look at Rex Weather Force though, that could just be an interpolation between weather stations. They're saying that's gusting to 34, but it's 16. So if we hit a gust, it's gonna be pretty bad. So I'm just gonna relive what I would have relived today if I flew for real, which I would never do in real life. 20 is about my limit. 22 I can handle. Still not like a oh my god I'm gonna die struggle, but it's a little bit of struggle at 22. Anything above 22 knots, it's a no-go. And today here in New England, from Plymouth, it was gonna gust to 34 knots in some places, just kind of like what we have here. So. Let's buckle up and see what we can do, right? Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And there's Marty from Simulated Aviation off my right. You gonna take runway 31 also? Because that's probably the safest bet, especially if wind's gusting up to 41 knots. I don't have much mixture left to enrich in here, but it's out just a little bit. It's not gonna hurt anything. If anything, it's gonna cool off the engine more. So we're at 4,000, and the airport should be in sight, right there. So we're gonna go left pattern, 3-1, and go right in. So check the chart supplement really fast, just to make sure everything's good, but we're good. All right. Very good. So airport is in sight. We're still a little high. But we will get down there. Marty, I'm gonna go to the north slightly here to give you a little more space. But try to make that left downwind a little tight for me, if you will, so I can kind of fit in there. And I'll extend my downwind if I have to meet you. But we are very high right now. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull out the throttle here and just keep descending. And if we have to, we'll extend the downwind to get a little less altitude. In real life, we would have probably set that up just a little bit better for runway 31 because we don't want to stress the aircraft either. So. Where did Marty go? I didn't see him. Oh, there he is. All right, yeah, I'll extend my downwind. You gotta be past my wingtip before I can turn for base. So that's the way we're going to play this. Minot traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, left downwind runway 31, Minot. Okay, we're right about there. So hey, it worked out, right? Kick in a couple RPMs, trim it up a little bit. That's Marty out there. He'll be landing in front of me. Here we go. Doing very good now. A little bit more RPMs. Should be good. Let's see where it equals out. We're halfway up the wing strut, which is what we like to see. Trim it down, get this thing going. Marty has to pass my wingtip, which he is. So that's cool. As soon as he passes my wingtip, then I can think about turning base, but no, until then, that's the safe way of doing this. So I'm good to turn base now, but I want a little bit more, what you would call it, full rich up mixture. A little bit more distance there, seeing that this is an unfamiliar airport to me. So more of a setup time means better landing. So these winds are pretty brutal here. So we shall see what happens. All right, I think I'm good to turn base. So clear on the left, and here we go. Should have already probably kicked in a thing of flaps too, but it's all right. We'll do it there. Gotta be under 110 to do the first 10-degree flaps, and we're gonna do that with level wings. So we'll be okay still. All right, let's level it out here. Wind's coming from 3-1. That might push me a little bit, but there you go. 10 degrees, angle down. And we'll turn final now, because by the time we're there, it's going to push us, if the winds are realistic, it's going to push us a little off course to the east. We also want to slow down to about 80 knots or so. And we'll just do the other flaps. Ooh, that was a good setup. The peripheral vision sucks on simulators, so that was this is why we extended the downwind, so we can have a good setup there. So good. We're looking really good right now. Okay, I'm gonna get my airport diagram out. There we go. All right. We should be at 1700. Now we're gonna go 1500. Slow this thing down a little bit. And we'll go for 20 degrees of flaps. Should end up around 75, 70 knots. And we're gonna land at around 65. Down to 60. 65 would probably be good though, because we have some gust here. Even 70 wouldn't be terrible, but we'll aim for 65. You don't want to be too slow when there's gusts. And I'm going to keep it 20-degree flaps too, because of the gusts. So 70, 65-ish area we'll land with. Or probably 70. Simulator, I think, is a little more forgiving with the wind gust situation, but we'll see. Because I'd be fighting this thing a little bit more, I think, even though it's directly down, the winds are coming this way. And it'd be forcing my nose to the left. So, which is clearly not doing right now as much as it should. Okay, a little less throttle. A little less throttle. Bit of throttle. And here we go. That definitely didn't feel like 41 knot gusts. I'd be kicked around all over the place on this one. So my right rudder's not working again. Oh, just did, see? I gotta kick that right rudder just to make it work. Come on. Oh! So that's not me. That's the rudder's not working, everybody. I gotta take a look at that. We'll do that later. Alright. Well, that would have been perfect if my right rudder was working. Come on. Go right. I have it all the way. There you go. I gotta check something with these. Flaps up. And we'll turn left on Delta. We'll clear the runway. And then, come on, right rudder. Then we'll check our checklist. Even the right brake doesn't help me. I don't know what's going on with this thing. But it's going to be time for new rudders. Alright, let me just fix this rudder here a little bit. that I kicked it. Now it's off center here. Right, parking brake. Well, that's not cool. That's not cool at all. All right, checklist. Brakes are on. Parking brake off. I still have to look at when those honeycomb rudders coming out. I think they're making rudders. I remember seeing a picture. So, after letting flaps up, strobes off, landing light, I like to leave on, taxi light, I'll leave on, trim set for takeoff, and then we're good to taxi. All right, let's look at the airport diagram. Again, we'd have ground here, but commercial aviation ramp is up ahead of us, and general aviation ramp is down. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down Delta, and then we're going to turn Bravo. So Marty, I'm going to go right by you, and I'm going to go a little further north of you to go to the general aviation ramp. So here we go. Looks like it catches on something. I don't know, but we'll work with it. Kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm going to have to open up these rudders. Now it's kind of working, but I can feel it catching on the right rudder when I push it. So, I guess that's going to be my project for tonight after I get done with this stream. I don't know. That's the commercial ramp right there where Marty is. And hence you have the terminal building there and everything. Sorry if my right rudder action's not where it should be right now. But again, these taxi lights, if Microsoft could just fix that, I'd feel a lot better. I've hated that since the beginning. But thank you very much for following the stream. I'm sorry about the right rudder thing. It makes me look like I'm an idiot who doesn't know how to fly. But it gets stuck. And that's why I went veering off the runway there. So, I'll keep you updated about that progress. Maybe I'll make a video on how to fix your rudder pedals in case one side of the rudder doesn't work. Sucks, because I really like these rudder pedals. Okay, clear on the right, turning the Bravo. We'll have to call this Minot traffic, Cessna Nautical Foxtrot crossing runway 8 via Bravo, Minot. We'll park over there probably, because that looks to be the general aviation here. Hour 36 minutes in, not a bad flight. And another leg down of the Around the USA flights for the Earth Flight YouTube and Twitch channels. Okay, I'm gonna take this Bravo 2 here. And that should lead us to the general aviation parking. See the left rudder, no problem. Right rudder, problems. It's weird how it catches. So, get some lithium grease down there or something. I don't know. I used to have the CH Products ones way back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. They were good. Except even that, I think a wire snapped inside mine, so. But I did get a lot of use out of them. And then these Cytec Cessna ones, I bought them because obviously I fly Cessnas in real life, so I was like, oh, cool. You know, we'll get that. And okay, I guess I'm going to go on this side of those aircraft. Try to park with that. I don't know if there's a marshal there or not, but we'll see. Welcome to Minot, everyone. And thank you, Sam, for, again, correcting me in the pronunciation. I needed that. I was searching. So. Doesn't look like there's a marshal, but we'll park over here. As long as my right rudder will work, we'll be good. Also, slow down. Come on, brakes. So now we know there's definitely a problem with the rudders. And we will be fixing that. Instead of me thinking I was going nuts and that, you know, it was my fault on the terrible veering off the runways as we were landing. All right, let's get that checklist going on. ELT, verify solid, avionics off. That means all lights except for beacon off. And then avionics. Mixture will be full lean. Mags off, master off, lights off. And let's take a look at the airport. I'll also do a parking brake. And let's send the drone out. Send in the drone. So welcome to Minot, North Dakota, everybody. Very rugged place here. Oh no, I pushed the 5 button to go back to my aircraft. I was trying to speed it up more. There we go. It's nicely modeled. This is the default scenery, so. Marty, you should be down here somewhere, unless you followed me. I don't know if you did or not. But as we know, sometimes it doesn't load the multiplayer when you do the drone. So, yeah. Nice runways and everything. Got your fuel over here. Some generic buildings there. Then the city surrounds it, so that's what it looks like right there. That looks like a school. Got some houses and stuff. It'd be cool if they included trains for the railroad tracks. And I know, like, you know, it depends on, like, real life, like, scheduling and stuff. But it'd be kind of cool to see some trains here and there, not overdone. But I guess they kind of have it if they took a picture of it, because that's what you see right there is a train on the main tracks. To see moving trains, I'd like to see Microsoft do that. There you go. That's Minot, North Dakota. And while you're here, I will update you on where our next flight is going to be, and that will be heading out east, obviously. And that will be Minot to. You can hear that wind blowing. That's the 41 knots there. But we'll be going from Minot International all the way to Devil's Lake Regional. Again, I've landed here before. The last time I did my Around the USA flights last year, which I did not stream because we didn't start streaming until June. So that one's a cool one because you have this whole lake, Devil's Lake, all around it and stuff. So that's pretty cool. And that will be our next flight. I already have it mostly planned out except for the winds aloft and checkpoint times. But this is where we're going to have to worry about not going this TFR. Again, this is this is a military area, so they don't want you there. It's from 2,400 to 18,000 feet, so they do not want you there. It's Grand Forks Air Force Base, actually. So, and if I don't know if it is or not, but is that where Fort Knox is? I don't think it is. No. Let's see. Because I remember flying over near Fort Knox one time, and I don't remember if it was last year's Around the USA flights. No, it's in Kentucky. See, I'm thinking crazy, yo. But that's where we're flying next. A nice, quick, easy flight. I don't know if I'll do it tonight. I'll probably definitely do it tomorrow, if not tonight. And I will try to post to the Discord both on Virtual USA Flying Club, in case you want to fly along, and also simaviation.com's Discord as well. But check out the websites. Virtual USA Flying Club, I just became an administrator there, so I was honored to be part of the team now that actually helps with the club in more hands-on way, so it's gonna be kind of cool. But I appreciate you tuning in to the stream today. Again, we'll keep continuing these flights around the USA. We're definitely getting towards Plymouth, Massachusetts, where I started this out in June, and we'll keep flying, keep checking out the country, and keep having a good time. So, Marty, thank you very much from Simulated Aviation for flying with me, and I will see you all soon. Have a great day.